So, once again, good morning, students. Myself, Dr. J.K. Sharma. I am sharing the screen on the subject of agriculture marketing trade price under the topic I have decided to discuss today market integration and state warehousing corporation. So, let us have a first go through the objective. What are the objective of the discussion of this unique topic under the agriculture marketing trade price? That concept of market will when we'll complete the discussion, then we'll have understanding the thorough understanding about the concept of market integration and state warehousing corporation. Then the second objective will achieve after the discussion that efficiency, cost, and margin efficiency, cost margin, and price spread market integration. So these are the things those we will discuss thoroughly in this topic. So let us have a first the market integration. Will we have a discussion on that? That what do we mean by market integration? That will discuss first. Then efficiency, cost, margin, price spread in market integration meaning. First we'll have a go through the what is actually the meaning of this thing. So integration shows the relationship of the firm in the market. It means in what way actually the entire that structure of the firm the firm in case of the agriculture, if it is agro-based industry, that is a firm for that. So that what kind of that integration, that structure, infrastructure the firm is having with the market in the market to ultimately the product to be reached or services to be reached to the end user. So that is integration shows the relationship. Integration shows the relationship of the firm in the market by in what way actually the entire that operation being carried out by the firm, that to be known as the integration. It means it's a relationship in between the firm user of the service. The extent of integration influences the conduct of firm and consequently their marketing efficiency. The behavior of a highly integrated market is different from that of a distinct disintegrated market. That extent of integration influences the conduct of firm. That in what way the conduct of firm is to be influences. That in what way they can attract their customers, in what way they can care their customers. So that kind of that integration influences the conduct of the firm and consequently their marketing efficiency. Also that efficiency, marketing efficiency, how much they are having, that how much efficient they are, that also to be decided by the market integration. Then the behavior of highly integrated market is different. Highly integrated market is different from that of a distinct disintegrated market. That there is a differentiation in between the highly integrated and the disintegrated market. Market differ in the extent of integration, and therefore there is a variation in their degree of efficiency. That is also there. So there are two experts, marketing experts, Coles and UV, have defined market integration as a process which refers to the expansion of firm by consolidating additional marketing functions and activities under a single management. It means how we can have the expansion plan. That also to be decided by the market integration. So Cohe and Cole and UV have defined market integration as a process. It's a continuous process which refers to the expansion of firm by consolidating additional marketing functions and activities under a single management umbrella. Example of market integrations are establishment of wholesaling facilities by food retailer and the setting up of another plant by a milk processor. In each case, there is a concentration of decision marketing in the hands of a single management. So what is that example for that? The market integration are the establishment of wholesaling facility by a food retailer. If once again they expand their wholesaling facility in the arena to provide the services to the better services to the retailer. So that is also the market integration. Then the another plant by a milk processor. If one plant is not sufficient or they are not able to cater the milk collection from a particular geographic area, then they establish another plant in another district or another geographical area where they can easily cater the services of the milk producer. So that kind of situation by firms, by organization to whom we are calling the market integration, that what kind of relationships they are having and in what way they can have further influence on the customer, on the stakeholders of their business. So there is a concentration of decision making in the hands of a single management, but that is also mandatory that under a single management, the consideration that the decisions to be taken by a single that the organization. So in different states, they started their they're expanding their business through the C&F agent, sometimes the distributor, sometimes the wholesaler, sometimes the retailer. So what kind of that infrastructure they are utilizing, they are enhancing their to provide their services in a better mean, and they can have the better information that the market research, through market research they are having the feedback of their customers, and they can further execute a plan to how they can have the better services and the product for their customers on the basis of the feedback those they are having. So that kind of relationship is being known as a market integration, and that to be well defined by the Cole and UV. They are the two expert marketeers. So now once again I repeat, integration shows the relationship of the firm in a market. The extent of integration influence the conduct of firm. That in what way actually how they can impress the people. Consequently, their marketing efficiency also, that how much they are efficient, that should be also decided by on the basis of the market integration. The behavior of a highly integrated market is different from the disintegrated market. That is also there. The market differs in the extent of integration, and therefore there is a variation in their degree of efficiency. So that the Cole and Lewis have defined market integration as a process which refers to the expansion of firm by consolidating additional marketing functions and activities under a single management. Example of that, the market integration are establishment of wholesaling facility by a food retailer and the setting up of another plant by a milk processor. That to be I have already explained. In each cases there is a concentration of decision making in the hands of a single management, that they have decided that they want to start another milk plant in another area to cater the milk collection center, and that's why they have started like that. So but the decision was taken by under a single management. So that kind of relationship being known as a market integration. Now the market integration type, we will see that the horizontal integration, then the vertical integration, like that we have a discussion one by one that what type of that market integration is there. So first let us have a discussion on the horizontal integration. This occurs when a firm or agency gains control over other firm or agencies performing similar marketing functions at the same level in the marketing sequence. It means this occurs when a firm or a agency gains control other firm or agency performing similar marketing functions. That is to be known as a horizontal. It means the similar that the other organization they have they have taken the control of other firms, those who are having the same marketing functions, performing similar marketing functions, the same level in the marketing sequence. This type of integration, some marketing agencies say seller combine to form a union with a view of reducing their effective number and extend to actual competition in the market. In most markets, there is a large number of agencies. Those do not have effectively compete with each other. So that's why they are horizontally. Similarly, at the similar level, they have the integration, they have the collaboration. That will be known as a horizontal integration. And then we have a vertical integration. Vertical integration occurs when a firm performs more than one activity in the sequence of the marketing process. It is linking together of two market functions in the marketing process within the single firm or under the single ownership. For example, if a firm assumes the functions of commission agent as well as the retailing, it is vertical integration. Another example of vertical integration is a floor mill which engage in the retailing activity as well as. So that vertical integration is of different types that we will discuss later on. The forward integration is one example out of that. So we'll have, once again I'll repeat that the horizontal integration is that this occurs when a firm or agency gains control over other firms or agencies performing similar marketing agencies, say seller combine, and then that kind of then we have the vertical that integration, and then we have then we So once again, I repeat that horizontal integration this occurs when a firm or agency gains control of other firm or agencies performing similar marketing function at the same level in the marketing segment. In this type of integration, some marketing agencies see seller combine to form or a union with a view to reducing their effective number and the extent of actual competition in the market. In the most market, there is a large number of agencies which do not effectively compete with each other. Vertical integration occurs when a firm perform more than one activity in the sequence of marketing process. For example, the floor mill started opening retail outlets in the market. It is linking together for two or more functions in the market process within a single firm, or understand under a single ownership. For example, if a firm assumes the functions of commission agent as well as retailing, it is vertical integration. Another example of vertical integration is a floor mill which engage in the retailing activity as well. So the vertical integration is for one the forward type that integration. If a firm assumes another function which is the second one, forward integration. If a firm assumes functions of marketing which goes to the consumption function, it is case in case of forward integration. For example, wholesaler assuming the function of detailing, or for the manufacturer assuming the functions of C and F agent. So that is a forward integration. Is the next step that to be next step of business to be considered and to be taken by the firm. So that to be initiative that then the backward integration. This involves the ownership and combination source of supply. For example, the firm is starting raw material that which they were purchasing from somewhere else. Now they have started raising their the raw material for their factory. So that is a backward actually because previously they are just hiring the all the raw materials from other agencies. So now they have started to taking the raw material from raising that raw material their own. So this under unified we termed as a collaboration example. This involves a combination of sources of supply. For example, when a processing firm assumes the functions of assembling, purchasing, or producing from village. So that is also the backward function. Then the collaboration, conglomeration, that is a combination of pieces of activity not directly related to each other may, when it operates under a unified management, be termed as a conglomeration. Examples: conglomeration are Hindustan Lever Limited, Process Vegetable and Soap, Delhi Cloth and General Mills, Cloth and Vanaspati, Birla. That it means they don't have the correlationship in between the nature of that commodities those they are supplying, but they have under the unified management. So that is and the city group and the NAFED. If they have the different people, but now they have operate all the things under a single umbrella or unified manner. So that to be discussed like that. So I have completed this thing, and now we'll have a further discussion on the degree of that integration. That what kind of that classification is based on the degree of that kind of thing, that is to be there. And on the basis of that degree of that integration is also that is very important. That there are two type of integration: that relationship on the basis of the intensity of the relationship, that to be the ownership intensity, and the contract integration. The ownership integration is very clear that this occurs when the decisions and assets of firm are completely assumed to by another firm. The example of this integration is the processing firm which buy a wholesaling firm. So that is kind of that ownership, because the same owner now they have purchased the another that outlet, that second type of that. That is for that we see that sometimes the few organizations they are hiring, they are purchasing this another organization, and that is to be known as ownership. That ownership is changed in the organization. Sometimes the Indian multinational giants they purchase the another organizations of different other the producer agencies. So that is to be known as the ownership integration. Then the contract integration, which is also very much important. This involve an agreement between two firms on certain decisions, while each firm retains its separate identity. It means this is the contract actually. This is involve the agreement between two firms and certain decisions for a combination of certain decisions, where they have the mutual understanding, and they are having the separate identity. If they are having the separate identity. When dal mill of an area is jointly agreed to pricing the dal and the processed product, if it is a case of contract integration. Another example of contract integration is tie with dal mill with the pulse trade for supply of pulse grain. So that kind of that contract we know that the contract integration. So that is the degree of integration. There are two types of integration. Ownership integration. This occurs when all the decisions and assets of the firm are completely assumed by another one. That's the situation, that the complete decision to be goes under a single under a previous one or second one. That one firm when they govern the decisions of another firms also. That is the situation to we are calling the ownership integration. Just like that, we know that all the decisions of Taliban now being taken by the Pakistan. So that is a ownership integration. It means Pakistan now becomes the colony of the Afghanistan becomes the colony of the Pakistan. So this is like that. The ownership integration means the entire decision to be taken by the one firm. The example of this type of integration is a process firm which buy a wholesale firm. That we'll see that some process firm buy a wholesale firm, and the entire decision to be taken by the process firm later on, and that to be called as a, because here the ownership of the wholesale firm to be under the processing firm. So that's why now the entire decision to be related with the process firm. So that is the ownership integration. Then the contract integration, this involve an agreement between two firms on a certain decision. This means the combination of few decisions that to be they have decided to take together, and they are to be similar. So that type of integration being called as a relationship, being called as a contract integration. And that is very important for the farmers, for the firms. So sometimes, because they have the mutual that benefits, mutual understanding on a certain that the business situation. So mutual benefits, they are to be addressed altogether in the form of the contract integration. Sometimes we know that the builders, so they assign the contract of electricity, that the electricity management inside the building to the another firm. So that kind of that only the relationship is that the contractor has given the entire building. He is his building, but he has given the contract of electricity, that the electricity arrangement inside the building to another that contractor. So that kind of the relationship being known as a integrated, that to be relation as a contract integration. Now the effect of integration. What is the effect of integration? That to be understood very well. That what is the effect of horizontal integration? That we will discuss. Buying of a competitor in a time bound way to reduce the competition. Gaining buy outing the competitor in a time bound. If we have horizontal, that similarly we have buy that buy out a competitor in the same time bound way to reduce the competition. That to be done by the bigger firm while they purchase the similar nature of the other firm, that similarity, that to be done on as the horizontal integration. Gaining a large share of market and higher profit. That if if the one firm, then another firm, they have the similar that kind of that product or the services they are there. So they collaborate and they purchase that firm, and that kind of that relationship being known as a horizontal integration. And that altogether, when they together, they have the higher market share of a particular service or the product. Then attaining economies of the scale, that is also that if we have horizontal that is spread, that economy of the scale, definitely we have a large we have increasing order of economy of the scale that it will be achieved. Then the specialization in the trade also, that one firm, they want to have all the horizontal firms under their umbrella. So now they can have the specialties in that particular segment of services or products they are providing to the market. Horizontal specialization in the trade, that is to be discussed. Horizontal integration in the food industry is limited because of its potential impact on the competition. That's why the limited in the food industry. But in the other that the industries, though are for example the that other goods, there is a horizontal that integration is very so common, because in pharma industry the same type of that collaboration, horizontal common are very common in the business form. So that is to be looked after by the by the marketeer and the firm owner. Now, the vertical integration, what are the effects of vertical integration of firm? May be actuated by following motives: that more profit by taking up additional functions. Because here we are either we are backward or forward. We are adding the vertical, it's straight away that the next we are vertically we are doing either it's upward or downward. So that is to be vertical. That is to be very important. That another functions to the firm is taking in their head. So definitely it is taking up additional functions. Risk reduction through improved market coordination. Yes, if we have the series of the next or backward or function in our hand, then definitely we have a better control over the demand and supply of the particular product or service in the market. For better coordination to remove the risk of the rest is both the things if we have in our hand, then definitely we are reducing the risk in the business or in the entire operation. Then the improvement of bargaining power, that if we have another function in our hand, then definitely we have more power in our hand, that we can have the more strength in the market, and we can have the more bargaining power in the scenario of the market research. Then the prospect of influencing the prices and other that can be controlled by the firm if they have the vertical integration. Lowering cost through achieving operational efficiency. We can reduce, because we have the other functions in our hand, then definitely we can use the high technology to reduce the efficiency, to increase the efficiency and reduce the cost of the operation. So that can be also we can control we can enhance the profit of the organization, and then we can reduce the cost of entire that operations that are to be there. So this is the effect of the vertical that kind of that collaboration. Then the collaboration integration may be actually the risk reduction through diversification. That one dependency on one commodity is now we have the multiple that another commodity business under single umbrella, which they have their own identity, but we are running under the same. So that's why if we have if one segment is not doing pharma industry purchase the cloth industry, then if the pharma, if there is a 1920 in the business, then we can have opportunity to earn more from the cloth industry. So that kind of that food industry or like that. So that is to be done over here. Then the risk reduction through diversification, yes, acquisition of financially leverage, that we have another the option, that an empire building, that is to be done by the collaboration only. So these are the few things those I have discussed about the about the vertical and other integration, that to be discussed. So these are to the very well. No. So effect of integration that I have discussed, the horizontal that is the effect of integration which I have discussed in detail. Now the second one that the vertical integration of may be accumulated by following motives, that more profit by taking up additional functions, this reduction through improved market or coordination, improvement in bargaining power and the prospect of influencing prices, and lowering costs through the achieving operational efficiency. So these are the few things that they are to be very much important. Then the conglomeration, that the integration may be actuated by following motives, that the risk reduction through diversification in the business segment, then the acquisition of financial leverage that we have another way of earnings, then the empire building that is also to be there. So these are the effect of the various that the collaboration and the functions which we have achieved. Now the entire thing about the market integration, it is the relationship in the of the firm in the market that I have discussed in detail. And now I'll forward further that what is the SWC. SWC is nothing, it is just the State Warehousing Corporation was established in India at 1956. The services or functions by the SWC is that they are providing certain services to the farmers, that the storage facilities, that the what are the farm communities. Sometimes there is a huge production, and that why the state act, the WC was still in the, then the ICD and CFS services that they are also providing. Then the bond facility, they are also that they are issuing certain bond, and on the basis of that they are also providing the interest to the people of their concern. And then the air cargo operations, they are also sometimes they are attached with that how to supply the food grains and other commodity, agricultural commodity and other industrial commodity, and the cargo operations they are also providing. Container train operators operations, SWC is also providing. Integrated check post terminal, that how to check all the things that they are. Pest control services also they are providing, because the food grains sometimes they stored, and the chances of the spoilage are so much because of the humidity and other that all the ticks and mites and all these kind of the pests who are destroying entire thing. Then the farmers extension services, and then tariff rebate and intermediate go down. So that the tariff and rebate intermediate go down, that to be there. So the services or functions of SWC, they are very important, that we have to understood that what are the functions and services those who are being provided under the state warehousing corporation. That storage facility is the primary function. Then we have the ICD and ICFS services and the bond facility to provide the loan and other the facility to create the infrastructure in the area. Then the air cargo operation, container train operations, that will be also. Then integrated check post terminal, how to have the clearance from the international trade or in the state trade. And the pest control services also to be provided by farmers extension services, how to educate the farmers to have the packaging and all. Tariff and rebate, that are the intermediate go down, that is also very much important. In transit, sometimes the in transit we require certain the storage facility to before just to load the goods to the destination, so that the intermediate go down, that to be provided by the state warehousing officer. Now we have a more discussion on that what are the functions of the SWC. We will decide that what are the major functions of the SWC. They are to be decided, that the acquire land and build warehousing go down at a suitable places. This is the prime that the important functions of the SWC. Act as an agent of the state government and run warehouses for the storage of agricultural products, seed and manure, fertilizers, agricultural implements, and modified commodities offered by individuals, cooperative societies, and other institutions. Arrange transport facilities and from warehouse to for transportation, that intermediate transportation. Sometimes the storage facility intermediate that is to be arranged by this committee. Carry out such other functions that may be prescribed by the government from time to time. That time and again, that whatever the changes they are to be followed by it. And then the creation or negotiable that instrument warehouse receipt for expression of credit to that on the basis of the receipt, whatever the amount or the goods that to be given by the on the basis of that loan and other that financial transaction to be done by banks and all financial institutions. Then the commercial banks for benefit of product producer, tailors and others who might be connected with the rural economy, improving nation's real income by reducing waste and loose losses in the storage by promoting and developing the warehousing and scientific storage facilities, assistance to the government and government sponsored organizations in price support and price control schemes. That also very important. The assistance in the orderly marketing by introducing a standard grade specialization in the warehouse receipt. So these are the few important functions, those who are very important they are to be addressed by the institutions and by the state warehousing corporation. So once again, I repeat that the acquired land and built warehousing go down at suitable places. That the first one time that which is to be done by the state warehouse, then act as an agent for state government and run warehouse for storage of agricultural products, seeds, that agricultural product either input or the output, input in the form of the seeds, fertilizer, and agricultural implements, and output the yield of the farm, or sometimes the milk that to be produced at the sometimes the aqua, whatever is there. So that to be by individual or cooperative society and other institutions. That here the agency SWC is working as a agent, arrange transport facility to supply the product, either it's input or the output. That to be the whatever uh, whatever the thing to be addressed by the thing. Then the carry out such other functions as may prescribed by the government time and again, and to be added by the government agency. Creation of negotiation instrument warehouse receipt for extension of credit through commercial banks, or the receipt of these warehouses, they are to be used as a security to take loan or something like that, or financial assistance, or but all it is required for the people those who are came from they are coming from the rural background. So it's improved to have the receipt is working as a money for them. And then all producers, dealers, and others who might be connected with the rural economy. Improving nation's real income by reducing waste and losses in storage by promoting and developing warehousing and scientific storage facilities. Assistant of assistant to the government and the government sponsored organization, price support and price control schemes, assistance in orderly marketing by introducing standard grade specialization in the warehouse receipt. So these are the important functions, and we know that the SWC established in 1956 by the Act, and the purpose was very clear. So I have discussed today the two things. They are very simultaneously, they are correlated, that the concept of market integration and the SWC. I have discussed efficiency, cost and margin, and price spread market integration in detail, and one by one we have taken into the consideration. And within that, I have first I have discussed the coals and UV definition, that how the market integration is the process here defined, that the expansion of firm, or sometimes the same firm started operating in the market in the different sectors. So that kind of that all the relationships, how they can have the better efficiency and the profitability, how they can enhance. So that to be discussed. The horizontal first one, then the vertical we have discussed, then the conglomeration also we have discussed in detail. So these are the few things those we have discussed thoroughly, and I hope that through this discussion we have earned that we have learned the both of the objectives that are the initially we have. Then we have discussed the state warehousing corporation, that why we have, and in 1956 through the act, the government of India, they have started how they can facilitate the warehousing facility in the rural area. So that through the act they have started a unit to whom they are knowing, calling that the State Warehousing Corporation, and under this management, they have established so many warehouses and other transport facilities and the bonds issues for infrastructure development, cold storage to be built under this concept, and the intermediate and the terminal that where the intermediate warehouses they are also to be built, and the receipt of these agency, because it's a government agency, so that to be further helpful for the farmers to obtain loan from any commercial bank or any rural bank. So that to boost the economy of the country, that the State Warehousing Corporation has done a unique job and unique role in that segment. So we have discussed thoroughly this State Warehousing Corporation, and then the market that previously we have completed the market integration, the concept that what kind of relationship with the firm which is having with the in a similar the next function. So that kind of that concept we have clearly discussed over here, and I hope that we'll have a better understanding, and we'll have a better knowledge of the market integration and the State Warehousing Corporation. What are the functions? So those functions we have discussed in detail, and I hope that we will have a better understanding of this thing. So thank you very much for participating in the in the lecture, and I hope that you will have a better understanding. You send your feedback, and thank you very much for that. So now I am stopping this thing, and we have a better